world is in endless chaos, the screams of millions heard around it. In the midst of World War V, someone from somewhere is preparing something that would change the future of Earth forever. However, there's some good news from within the darkness, as a cat named Judd was born, who was born with an incredible ability to judge turf areas of lands, to separate the winners from the losers. Around the same time, a printer used to determine a future events theme, although its original purpose at this time is forever unknown, was produced and created. A professor somewhere in the world had also created something new, a capsule that was capable of freezing someone or something for thousands of years. And this same professor also created a telephone, Tata. This device stored all of humanity's knowledge, and was put into one of those capsules. With the world seemingly coming to an end, the professor tried to put both himself and Judd into a deep sleep, but he unfortunately only had enough electricity to power one sleeping chamber, so he decided to use the electricity to power Judd's chamber, and said his goodbyes. He made a copy of Judd's DNA, however, just in case Judd didn't make it, which in turn created a little Judd. Although that someone from somewhere had finished his preparations, his creation. He was going to end World War V. So he did just that by shooting a nuclear warhead into the South Pole. This caused the Earth to begin flooding, water levels rising by an insane amount and covering Earth's land, killing everyone. Eventually, it caused human life to cease to exist. And for the next 10,000 years, there was no activity of sentient life anywhere on the entire planet. This was the end. After a long time, water all around the globe finally began to recede, and the world began to become only remnants of what once was. Atlantic life forms, however, eventually evolved and began to develop and gain humanoid structure over time. Squids evolved into Inklings, while octopi evolved into Octarians and Octolings. Both forms, much like hybrids, being able to switch from being full-standing humanoid beings straight back to their original form as squids or octopi. They started to build their new homes, a main having been dubbed Inkopolis. And the Inklings used a rare type of electric catfish known as the Zapfish as a source of electricity to power their city. Judd, however, is eventually released from his capsule, and with his unique abilities becomes the judge of the earliest known 4 vs 4 turf war, a name given to what was a fight for territory. Around 100 years before present day, 2 very important people were born, Captain Cuttlefish and DJ Octavio. It wouldn't be known until later, but these 2 would become the respective leaders of the Inklings and the Octarians. While DJ Octavio led and controlled the entirety of the Octarians, Captain Cuttlefish created and served as leader of a division named the Squidbeak Splatoon, alongside weapon expert Amosas Schellendorf, who had created 5 or 8 blueprints for weapons for the Inklings, including the Hero Shot replica, the Strategist Judd, and 2 Inkling soldiers. The Inklings and Octarians wouldn't be neutral for long, as when water began to move and rise once more, they battled fiercely over the remaining territory, resulting in what's known as the Great Turf War. Most similar to Earth's old world wars, the Great Turf War was a vicious fight between both Inklings and Octarians. The Octarians built powerful machines called Great Octo Weapons to help fight in said war. These weapons helped greatly, causing the Octarians to win the first big battles of the Great War, although they also won by simply fighting Inklings who weren't even able to get up early enough in the morning to defend themselves. Although with good luck, superior tactics, and a higher number of limbs, the Inklings became victorious overall. The Inklings winning the Great War caused the Octarians to go into hiding, into a place they then call Octo Valley, where they built and lived in underground domes beneath places such as Inkopolis. However, the Octarians' underground domes weren't built too magnificently, and began to collapse and began losing power very quickly. The turf wars themselves, however, became a popular, fun, and competitive sport, instead of a serious conflict in war, where Inklings use unique, new, and entirely different weapons in order to paint the landscape around them in their team's colors paint. And when time's up, Judd judges whoever has covered the most territory, and decides who wins each and every battle. Annie, Mo, Krusty Scene, Gelonzo, and Sheldon begin operating their shops at Booyah Base, a new mall in Inkopolis Plaza. Spike, however, works at a back alley in the plaza. The Inkopolis hosts the first annual youth folk singing contest that 2 squids, Marie and Callie, grandchildren of Captain Cuttlefish, join. Pearl joins as well, but eventually gets kicked out of the contest. The 2 end up winning the contest, kickstarting their career and inevitable fame as singers. After moving themselves to Inkopolis itself, Mary and Callie also begin their career as announcers for Splatfest, events where every Inkling gets to pick one of 2 options about random topics to represent throughout the month, and whichever has the highest number of supporters by the end wins the event. The topics would be entirely random, such as cats vs dogs. What would you pick? They also announce other events in the Inkopolis news cycle, and from then on dubbed themselves the Squid Sisters. From here on, it would seemingly be peace and harmony in Nicopolis, and it would stay that way, right? The Octarians steal the great Zapfish that hung around the Inkopolis Tower, and other mini Zapfish from Inkopolis in order to power their own starving home and the great Octo weapons. The Octarians are seemingly preparing for a new war against the Inklings through Inkopolis. A new Inkling arrives in Inkopolis and notices the now old Captain Cuttlefish sneaking out of a drain that leads directly into the Octarians' underground domes, right into Octo Valley. They follow him down, but Captain Cuttlefish explains the disappearance of the Zapfish being the fault of the Octarians. He recruits this Inkling into the new Squid Beak Splatoon as Agent 3. He gives Agent 3 a special hero suit to withstand their ink. He gets Agent 3 to go and discover the Octarians' lairs hidden within the underground, where Agent 3 must fight the Octarians in order to find the mini Zapfish within each lair. Agent 3 collects the first 3 mini Zapfish, and using their energy opens up the boss kettle. In this lair, another mini Zapfish awaits. However, a tentacle grabs the Zapfish in front of Agent 3's eyes, using its power to power an Octo weapon from the Great War, the Octo Stomp. A robotic Octarian in the shape of a large cube with 9 metal panels on most sides and a hole on its back where the tentacle attacks from. Agent 3 fights the Octo Stomp through a tough battle, having to dodge its attacks, climbing up his blocky body to splat the tentacle to hurt the Octo Stomp. He damages the tentacle 3 different times, leaving the Octo Stomp to explode, and being able to gather the mini Zapfish. After defeating the Octo Stomp, a fuse is sparked with the wires surrounding its boss kettle, breaking a defense gate for an ink cannon. With this, Agent 3 uses the ink cannon to create an ink railing, and travels along it to enter the next area. Agent 3 connects another 6 mini Zapfish, once again using their energy to open up the next boss kettle. Once again, another mini Zapfish awaits before being taken by a tentacle in front of Agent 3's eyes. This mini Zapfish powers yet another Octo weapon from the Great War, the Octo Nuzzle, a can-shaped machine that's covered in seaweed with a pipe where ink shoots out from, and around its waist there are several holes for suction cups to pop out from, in order to keep its body up. Once again, Agent 3 fights through a tough battle, dodging its attacks and climbing up its body to splat the tentacle 3 times, where it eventually explodes, leading Agent 3 to be able to grab the mini Zapfish that was inside of the Octo Nozzle. However, after defeating the Octo Nozzle, Agent 3 and Captain Cuttlefish receive a radio transmission by none other than DJ Octavio. But fearful of his return, Captain Cuttlefish brushes it aside as a malfunction of some kind. Now, Captain Cuttlefish realizes that they must be using the stolen Zapfish to power the old machines. Through another fuse, another ink cannon becomes accessible, leading to the third area. After another 6 mini Zapfish are collected by Agent 3, another boss kettle opens up thanks to their power, leading to a lair with what seems like a ball of some sorts. A mini Zapfish, once again taken by a tentacle, is used to power and reveal to Agent 3 another, yet strange Octo weapon, the Octo Whirl, a giant black, round, clam-like Octo weapon with several black spikes around its body with an antenna, its mouth filled with purple ink hiding away its attacking tentacle. Agent 3 must dodge each of the Octo Whirl's roll attacks, where it keeps getting stuck into a hole of some sorts, allowing Agent 3 to be able to attack its tentacle 3 times, causing it to malfunction and roll within the hole, leading it to explode. Agent 3 is able to gather the mini Zapfish that was powering it and receives another radio transmission from Captain Cuttlefish, where the fear of DJ Octavio's return is clear. He also tells Agent 3 about Agents 1 and 2, who have yet to be called there. DJ Octavio intercepts the call and threatens Captain Cuttlefish to no longer intervene, saying that he's found him, although another ink cannon becomes accessible, leading to the 4th area. Agent 3 begins his search for the next 5 mini Zapfish, where Agents 1 and 2 begin to use the radio to communicate and help Agent 3. Agent 3 collects all 5 and locates the boss kettle, where another Octo weapon grabs a mini Zapfish to power itself, revealing the Octo Lore, a giant metallic Octo weapon, its head seemingly made of wires with its body made of simply scrap quickly put together. When it swims towards Agent 3, it has a large fin that pokes out of the ground. Agent 3 is able to track its location thanks to the fin, and is able to dodge its attacks and eventually get the chance to break one of its front teeth in order to throw saw a bomb down its throat, hurting it and exposing the tentacle. Agent 3 repeats this 3 times once again, where it screams in pain before exploding, where Agent 3 is able to retrieve the mini Zapfish powering it. Agent 1 and 2 congratulate Agent 3 on their success, but DJ Octavio once again intervenes, causing the mission for all agents to power full steam ahead as the ink cannon becomes accessible, leading Agent 3 to the 5th and final area. After gathering 6 mini Zapfish, Agent 2 tells Agent 3 that they've gotten all the mini Zapfish, and now only the great Zapfish remains. So as Agent 3 reaches the boss kettle, getting launched to the real final boss kettle, the final battle is all that remains. Agent 3 enters the final lair, seeing the great Zapfish right there. Captain Cuttlefish, however, tells Agent 3 not to continue, that it's a trap. As Agent 3 gets closer, the great Zapfish is surrounded by a beam where it gets taken away by none other than the big bad, the evil Octarian leader, the kidnapper of the captain, DJ Octavio, the gold crown-wearing octopus sitting inside of the giant flying machine named the Octobot King, containing purple ink and a turntable, which he uses and plays with wasabi. The turntable has 4 cannons on the front, 2 extendable fists, and a set of thrusters allowing it to fly. Surrounding the machine, which is now powered by the great Zapfish itself, is a large force field which Agent 3 nor their ink can pass through. He claims that he will take back what's his, and begins playing his beats to fight to. This is the final battle for the great Zapfish. Agent 3 fights off rockets sent by DJ Octavio, sending back his thrusting fist to damage his own machine. More rockets and more sendbacks for DJ Octavio. Agent 3 has this under control, continuously avoiding the multitude of rockets and attempted punches.
"Are you ready for this?"
he remarks, as a giant rocket bursts from the machine and heads straight for Agent 3. Agent 3 sprays it as much as they can, sending it back to him, but he punches it again to send back to Agent 3. Yet Agent 3 is persistent, hitting it back once more as its speed builds, but Agent 3 continues to fight, and with its heightened speed, DJ Octavio cannot react in time and takes his first hit.
"Impudent ink squirt,"
he remarks as he continues to fight Agent 3. Agent 3 now has to dodge Supersonic Blast and more rockets and both fists all at once. Agent 3 slimly dodges his attacks as DJ Octavio isn't giving up anytime soon.
"Eat this!"
he exclaims as he sends yet another giant rocket, this time with rockets and supersonic blasts to distract Agent 3. He fails as it's another game of tennis, sending it back and forth, hitting him back once more.
"Go, my minions!"
he yells as Agent 3 continues on. Agent 1 and 2 think he's got something up his sleeve which they aren't prepared for. Mid-fight, Octarians appear and begin to attack. Agent 3 fights them off with an ink Zuka and continues forth.
"I'll make squid soup out of you,"
he yells as he sends another giant rocket, but this time coming from the side. Agent 3 sends it back like usual, and the game is on again as the rocket's faster than ever. Agent 3 holds it together as supersonic blasts, bombs, rockets, Octarians, and the giant rocket attack all at once, only for Agent 3 to get ahead and send it back once more.
"Who do you think you are?"
he yells. The vigorous fight continues uphill.
"I'll make fried squid rings out of you,"
he yells as he sends another giant rocket with a multitude of weapons attacking. But Agent 3 hits it back once more, twice, and 3 times. "I'll get you for that," he claims, until...
"What's this? This song?"
a strange yet familiar music takes over DJ Octavio's set. Captain Cuttlefish breaks out of the ropes at once to the melody of none other than the Squid Sisters. Agent 3 must make one final push. Agent 3 takes a final stand in the intense battle. They fight all the way up the hills until...
"Time to put an end to you,"
he yells once more as another giant rocket heads straight to Agent 3, but Agent 3 sends it back only for DJ Octavio to hit it back himself, leading Agent 3 to blast it away again, causing Dr. Octavio to speed it away once more, and Agent 3 makes the final push, directly hitting. DJ Octavio heads towards Agent 3 only for he himself to be pushed back, directly into his machine.
"Oh no, vanquished. So sad,"
he says, defeated, as the machine begins to malfunction and inevitably... explode. DJ Octavio's mind control breaks on the Octarians, and Callie and Mary make a news report on the great Zapfish returning to Inkopolis Tower. Little will anyone know what happened. Little will anyone know the Squid Sisters were agents the entire time, and they helped bring the great Zapfish back to Inkopolis to restore its power supply. Captain Cuttlefish stores DJ Octavio into a snow globe for the rest of his days. After the mind control is gone, some of the Octarians even decide to live above ground and coexist with the Inklings. It seems as though the new Squid Beak Splatoon has saved the day and stopped the war for good. Or so Inkopolis assumed by continuing to host Splatfest. such as a Splatfest between Marie and Callie, which Marie won. Although no Splatfests happened for a while. Around 2 years after the battle for the Great Zapfish, Inkopolis Square has become the new hub for Turf Wars, and Inkopolis News Studio relocated to one of the buildings within the square. Marie and Callie, however, begin to spend some time apart, with Marie going to Calamari County to visit her parents. While this is happening, Captain Cuttlefish and Agent 3 decide to go on a secret mission abroad. Marie returns to Inkopolis only to notice that the entire Squidbeak Splatoon is gone, including Callie, who no one has actually heard from. She worries and begins searching for her, learning that Captain Cuttlefish's shack has not only been abandoned, but that DJ Octavio's snow globe had been broken. She learns quickly that DJ Octavio isn't holding back or taking any more time off than he needed, as he makes new mind control goggles and is easily able to gather a number of Octarians and more to help establish their new base at Octo Canyon. The Great Zapfish is stolen once again, sending everyone in Inkopolis back into unease. It seems as though the war is not over yet. Marie goes to Inkopolis Square to look for and find a recruit to investigate the Octarians, get the Great Zapfish back, and find the missing Callie. With the Squid Sisters being absent, the new band Off the Hook, a duo consisting of the Inkling Pearl and the Octarian Marina, who both met each other on Mount Nantai, help to take their places as musicians and hosts for the Inkopolis News. They host the first Splatfest since the Squid Sisters' absence, and help keep everyone in Inkopolis at ease. A new Inkling arrives in Inkopolis Square. They see someone suspiciously standing over a sewer drain with a green umbrella, so they go investigating what exactly they're doing until they see the mysterious person go down into the drain, so they follow them. After entering the underground, it becomes clear that it's Marie behind the umbrella, who now turns to this new Inkling for help, eventually recruiting them into the new Squidbeak Splatoon, dubbing them Agent 4. Much like the agent before them, Agent 4 receives the hero suit before beginning their journey further into Octo Canyon. They must head into different areas of the underground domes and take back the mini Zapfish stolen from the Octarians. After gathering 3 mini Zapfish, the energy and power from them open up what Agent 3 would easily recognize as a boss kettle. Agent 4 jumps right in and prepares themselves for a battle. A tentacle coming from within the ink itself grabs the mini Zapfish and uses its machine to power an octo weapon named the Octo Oven, a tall octagonal building-like structure with spaces for bread-like Octarians to come out and attack from by bursting out and shooting forward. Agent 4 waits for the Octo Oven to attack on all angles at once out of impatience, to use its fully out bread as stairs of some sort. Agent 4 reaches the top and hurts the tentacle largely before being blasted back by the Octo Oven moving once more. It seemingly upgrades itself into another stage and drops columns of ink around the battle area to help itself in battle, although Agent 4 dodges easily and once again waits for it to rage and attack at all angles at once, so they climb the Octo Oven again and hurt the tentacle once more. Now it's really mad as it armors each piece of bread on all angles. Agent 4 continuously deflects the attacks and allows it to rage once more, climbing it again and hurting the tentacle enough that the Octo Oven begins shaking out of pain, the bread inside it overcooks, and the Octo Weapon explodes. Agent 4 retrieves the mini Zapfish, and Marie congratulates Agent 4 on their first Octoboss win, and tells Agent 4 she didn't expect them to have Octobosses prepared already, so she calls in Sheldon from Ammo Knights, the main gun store in Inkopolis. Sheldon asks Agent 4 to test out the weapons currently being developed, so then eventually he can collect that data to make retail versions for Turf Wars. Marie calms his excitement and tells Agent 4 to continue forth, which they do as they see the sparks cause an electrical fuse, depowering the walls surrounding a jump station, which Agent 4 uses to reach the second area to continue their mission. 6 mini Zapfish recoveries later, and Agent 4 immediately heads over to the boss kettle, ready for another battle, jumping right in to fight whatever it may be. Agent 4 watches as a tentacle comes out from more ink, grabbing the mini Zapfish, fusing its energy with its octo weapon to help power the Octo Samurai, a stronger looking octoling giant with a leather motorcycle jacket with golden embroidery and a DJ Octavio print on the back of it, carrying a giant-sized dynamo roller and riding around on a unicycle. Agent 4 has to dodge its attacks, much like the dynamo roller's attacks, except with a way stronger force. It eventually uses the roller as a main driver of some sort, by riding it as if its goal is to cover more turf. Agent 4 uses this to their advantage to continue to cover the beast with their ink until it eventually explodes. dropping what the tentacle was contained in. Agent 4 is able to attack the tentacle enough before the Octo Samurai seemingly revives itself, flipping the roller to its side to use it as a blade or something. It leaps at Agent 4 and Agent 4 continues to attack and cover it with their ink before it explodes again, leaving the tentacle to be damaged again. The Octo Samurai returns again, making its roller spin continuously before attacking Agent 4 with large ink blasts. Agent 4 successfully dodges more attacks before covering the beast's entire body with ink, once again exposing the tentacle for Agent 4 to hurt. The machine malfunctions and rises slowly until it explodes, leaving the mini Zapfish for Agent 4 to gather. Although on the radio they seem to be experiencing unknown interferences. Another fuse leads to another jump station being accessible for Agent 4 to use to travel to the third area. 6 mini Zapfish are gathered by Agent 4, opening up the boss kettle, and there's no time to waste as Agent 4 meets the new Octo weapon. The Octo weapon begins rising from the ground, the Octo weapon that Marie recognizes far too well. It's back, the Octo Stomp. It rushes its attack though, and the tentacle is almost immediately hurt by Agent 4. It won't lose that easily as it gets back up and puts an uninkable armor around itself, becoming the Neo Octo Stomp. Agent 4, however, realizes that the armor is held by a buckle, which is the only thing exposed to their ink, leading to an easy destruction of the buckle, causing the Octo Stomp to lose its armor. It attacks Agent 4 enraged, missing again and leading to Agent 4 climbing it and damaging the tentacle. It puts more armor on and grows 2 more faces. What? It rushes Agent 4, pushing them off the arena, and it continuously stomps the ground to kill them. But Agent 4 is able to damage the buckle enough that it jumps back as a precaution. It repeats its attacks as Agent 4 continues to dodge and weave around it. Agent 4 destroys the buckle again, causing the Octo Stomp to rage attack once more. It misses and Agent 4 climbs up its body to attack the tentacle once more, leading to the machine malfunctioning and exploding. Hopefully this time the Octo Stomp is stopped for good. Agent 4 retrieves the mini Zapfish and Marie decides to open up to them about her true goal, and how fighting the great Zapfish is a minor goal in comparison to her finding her cousin Callie. She confirms that she's Agent 2 while Callie is Agent 1, and Agent 3 and Captain Cuttlefish have gone on a mission somewhere. She worries how she's failing her grandfather, meaning to protect Inkopolis only for Callie and the great Zapfish to disappear right under her nose. The radio is intercepted once more with a voice telling them to leave now. Agent 4 doesn't back down though and continues to push forward as another jump station is available, leading directly to the 4th area. 6 more mini Zapfish to add to the rescue as Agent 4 continues to amaze the others during this mission. The boss kettle opens up and Agent 4 jumps down, wondering what the next Octo weapon will be. What insane creation is next? Agent 4 sees that there seems to be platforms to use to their advantage down here, as the mini Zapfish is taken by another tentacle, powering and then revealing the Octo Shower. 3 octocopters carry a giant living robot that vaguely resembles a shower head. Agent 3 uses the platforms to climb up and have a better angle to snipe with, sniping down the octocopters one by one. Agent 4 gets attacked with ink missiles and laser beams, before being given another chance to shoot the remaining octocopter. After shooting them all down, the tentacle is exposed for Agent 4 to damage. 4 more octocopters arrive and pick the Octo Shower back up. It continues attacking as Agent 4 miraculously dodges and snipes down all of the octocopters, even after attacks such as a giant ink blast. Agent 4 shoots the missiles and remaining octocopters in order for the Octo Shower to fall, exposing the tentacle again. Agent 4 damages it as much as they can until another 4 octocopters that seem much faster arrive and pick it back up. The battle continues intensely with multiple attacks from the Octo Shower, shooting missiles at close range and beaming down Agent 4. Agent 4 shoots multiple snipes at the octocopters, successfully knocking the Octo Shower down once more. The tentacle is exposed, allowing Agent 4 enough time to destroy it, and with no more support, the Octo Shower malfunctions and explodes. Agent 4 retrieves the mini Zapfish but is immediately intervened by a threatening message, reading, "Run, leave now and never come back," although it's upside down. Marie instantly notices this as a Callie trait, and the mysterious person denies this, begging them to leave. It's not safe. Marie begins to wonder whether Callie may be working with the Octarians now. Agent 4 uses the now accessible jump station to reach the 5th and final area. After retrieving 6 more mini Zapfish, the final bus kettle opens up. Agent 4 prepares themselves before jumping in for the final fight. Agent 4 notices a small stage with a girl with pink stands. Marie instantly recognizes her cousin Callie, who turns around, revealing that she has mind control goggles on. Callie yells for the DJ as it turns out this mini stage is just the 2nd level of a new and improved, as well as the return of the Octobot King. Its 2 fists now gold with brass knuckles on, and the machine itself with many improvements and upgrades. The great Zapfish appears briefly, only to be used to further power the powerful machine.
Octavio in the house!
DJ Octavio says.
Haha, I remixed Kelly's brain.
Kelly tells them about the first song of the night, Bomb Rush Blush. The final fight for the great Zapfish commences. Agent 4 fights off the Fist of Fury, using Agent 3's strategy of sending the fist back to the machine successfully. The machine throws bombs at Agent 4 and even throws some spinning punches that aren't even able to be reflected back at the Octobot King. Agent 4 continues to fight back against DJ Octavio and Callie as they use ink shower attacks and more. Maria hopes Callie snaps out of it as Agent 4 sends the fist back to the Octobot King, which surprisingly launches DJ Octavio out of his seat and onto the ground for Agent 4 to attack. DJ Octavio swings back into his seat after being majorly hurt, but Callie insists to continue as Marie continues to try and wake Callie out of the brainwash. Agent 4 continues to fight against the Fist of Fury and multitude of bombs that even turn into ink columns if left unchecked. Agent 4 battles fiercely against the Octobot King machine, continuously sending the fist back in order to damage it more and more. Marie promises she's on her way and for Agent 4 to hold out for just a little longer. Agent 4 keeps dodging and damaging the fists that want nothing besides ending them. DJ Octavio is pushed out of his seat again, allowing Agent 4 to get even more hits in before causing DJ Octavio to swing right back into that seat. Marie finally arrives with the truck being flown by Sheldon. Marie holds a sniper that she aims carefully with, shooting the mind control goggles off of Callie.
No! The hypnosis shades!
DJ Octavio yells after Callie begins to regain consciousness. Agent 4 uses this as an opportunity to fight back easier, fighting an intense but noble fight against the foe that should have stayed in his snow globe. DJ Octavio throws everything and anything at Agent 4. Agent 4, however, keeps standing their ground and sends DJ Octavio's fist back once more, knocking DJ Octavio out of his seat in order for Agent 4 to attack and swing him back once more. Callie begins to wake up slowly, and Marie brings out a radio to blast one of their tunes to reach into Callie's memories, to bring back what once was. Callie begins to remember and react to the melody, and together the Squid Sisters finally return. They begin to join forces and perform one last song to end this battle once and for all. Agent 4 receives Sheldon's Rainmaker, and as DJ Octavio flies away, they follow him higher into the air to keep pushing. Agent 4 dodges missiles, shoots back his fists, swims around in ink, and fights back in the air, pushing the fist back again and again. This is the true battle, what it's all led to the moment where Agent 4 uses the Rainmaker to push back DJ Octavio's fist once more. The Octobot King falls down to the ground defeated, allowing for Agent 4 to slide down slowly, jumping off the ink railing and aiming for one last blast against DJ Octavio. The machine begins to malfunction like it did last time and spins continuously until eventually exploding. The great Zapfish returns to Inkopolis as reported by Pearl and Marina. They both express their excitement, and before continuing with the news, confirm the return of Callie. The Squid Sisters are officially back. Everything returns back to normal for the people in Inkopolis. But what about the rest of the new Squid Beak Splatoon? The original hero, Agent 3, and the main man himself, Captain Cuttlefish, are still well within their mission. Except something's gone wrong. Captain Cuttlefish wakes up a wrestling Octoling. It turns out that the Octoling was battling Agent 3 before being suddenly attacked by someone, who brought them all down to wherever they are now. Captain Cuttlefish properly introduces himself, and realizes that the Octoling seemingly forgot their memory, and after some more talking they decide to find a way to escape. The Octoling looks around the station and finds a train, heading down it and down the tracks, and the two meet a telephone, the Tartar that comes from the Great War. The Tartar calls the Octoling number 10,008. And tells them that they're in the Deepsea Metro Central Station, and its goal is to facilitate their journey to the Promised Land. A train arrives at the station and the two aboard. On this train they're greeted by Sea Cucumber, who explains what's about to happen. The Octoling must pass the test at each Deepsea Metro station, and collect 4 things over time. Captain Cuttlefish dubs the Octoling as Agent 8, who passes the first test, and as they continue on the train, the radio begins to pick something up. Pearl and Marina are on the other side of the radio, and the two offer their help to Captain Cuttlefish and Agent 8 if needed. Agent 8 completes test after test, running into new sanitized Octarians, a variation of Octarians that have been sterilized or disinfected. Their colors are almost entirely different, but for Agent 8, there's eventually one test that stands out from the usual. Agent 8 watches as the machine rises from the ground. It's the Octostomp Redux. Already in its armor and its face now green instead of purple, its sanitized form. Captain Cuttlefish recognizes it and watches as Agent 8 fights back using the same strategy as Agent 4, destroying its buckle then hurting the rotten tentacle. Agent 3 does this 3 entire times before it inevitably explodes, successfully passing the test. Eventually though, Agent 8 finds and then retrieves a thing. The telephone tells him that there's 3 more to go and redirects them back onto the train to continue to collect the things. Agent 8 continues to pass tests, one of which being a fight with the sanitized form of the Octo Samurai, although it has the exact same movement and attack patterns as the original. Agent 8 defeats the Octo Samurai, causing it to explode. Agent 8 eventually finds the second thing after a few more tests. They're about halfway there. Agent 8 continues to pass more and more tests and once again fights another boss, this time fighting the Octo Oven XXL, a sanitized form of the Octo Oven that is now no longer alone, as now there are several Octo Troopers guarding the weak spot. Soon the Octo Troopers are replaced with Octo Bombers, then later Octo Snipers and Splash Walls. Agent 8 fights the Octo Oven XXL and causes it to explode much like the other machines. After continuing to fight in each and every test, Agent 8 finds the third thing. Captain Cuttlefish begins to wonder where Agent 3 is. They continue their journey forward either way, eventually finding yet another boss, the Octo Shower Supreme, the sanitized form of the Octo Shower. Its battle with Agent 8 is very similar to its battle with Agent 4, except this time, Agent 8 is only able to battle with an inkjet, and the Octocopters also attack more often. Agent 8 defeats and causes the Octo Shower Supreme to explode. Agent 8 eventually finds the fourth thing. Tartar congratulates them, saying it's going to now guide them to the Promised Land. Tartar asks if they're ready, and prepares to open the door to the Promised Land. It starts to build and put together the machine it needed all the things for, making something that resembles a blender? The two step inside, trusting the telephone which has all human knowledge. Although Pearl and Marina realize the mistake they're making, Tartar confirms their suspicions, and Tartar prepares to turn them both into simply blended ingredients. Although, right in the nick of time, Agent 3 bursts through the roof, knocking the Tartar away, destroying the machine and saving Agent 3 and Captain Cuttlefish. But unfortunately, the blast knocks Agent 3 unconscious. Marina tells them that they should leave through the hole that Agent 3 made through the roof. Captain Cuttlefish though says he'll wait for Agent 3 to wake up, and sends Agent 8 up there on their own. Eventually, Agent 8 arrives at an elevator which they assume will take them all the way up, and it does, except it randomly just stops. Agent 8 looks up to the sky, only to see Agent 3 with something attached to them. But Captain Cuttlefish is captured next to them, who yells that Agent 3 is being mind controlled by the phone somehow. Agent 3 jumps down to the ground and fights Agent 8 one-on-one. Agent 8 fights to their best ability, taking down Agent 3 once, who jumps right back in. Agent 3 fights continuously and proves a challenge to Agent 8, who happens to continue to push forward before Agent 3 has the chance to dodge. Agent 3 comes back, leaping right into battle using specials and bombs to catch Agent 8 off guard. Agent 3 stands on the UFO and fights from a distance, and pressuring Agent 8 with a multitude of attacks. But Agent 3 is taken down again. Agent 3 decides to go full force, jumping down and fighting powerfully. Agent 8 knocks Agent 3 out again, removing what was mind controlling them, and Agent 3 doesn't immediately come back to it. Agent 8 tries to get Captain Cuttlefish down, but now the elevator begins to move again, and so does the UFO. The elevator rises above ground, with the city in perfect view and a bunch of helicopters incoming, including Pearl and Marina. Agent 8, Captain Cuttlefish and Agent 3 are carried towards Pearl and Marina for rescue. Agent 8 though notices something rising from the water, something huge that looks similar to a statue. Captain Cuttlefish has seen this before, but swears it was destroyed so long ago. Tartar speaks from the statue, confirming how it came into existence, and its purpose to pass all of humanity's knowledge onto the next worthy life form. But Tartar doesn't think the Inklings and Octarians are worthy, unlike it first assumed. It tells them how it created a sludge of supreme DNA out of the best and brightest test subjects, where it hopes the ultimate life form will emerge. It claims today is the day Inkopolis and everyone in it falls. The mouth opens up, revealing a giant laser connected to tubes of that supreme DNA goo, aiming right at Inkopolis. Marina confirms this and tells the others that it's charging up enough energy to destroy the entire world. She tells them that it seems as though it's absorbing sunlight and converting it into energy, so if they're able to cover the entire statue in ink, then it may stop it. Marina plans for Agent 8 to cover it, while Pearl prepares to use her intense vocal cords in a full power battle cry in order to destroy it, which she hasn't used in ages, while Captain Cuttlefish is simply battle support. They have 3 minutes to complete this mission to complete this battle. This is the final battle to save the entire world. Marina drops hyperbombs along the statue for Agent 8 to swim around and destroy in order for them to blow up. Agent 8 successfully does so and has to move over to its back. Agent 8 fights using all of their strength and agility, blowing up a multitude of those hyperbombs to cover up the statue faster and faster. Agent 8 rides around the statue, blowing up ink everywhere as the time continues to tick. 30 seconds into it shoots and destroys the entire world. Agent 8 rides around the statue, breaking the last remaining hyperbombs. They successfully blow them all up and Agent 8 falls, before blasting to the helicopter the others are on. It's not fully charged, yet Marina confirms it's still going to blow. Pearl jumps down as the machine charges its attack. Pearl brings out a machine of her own and uses her vocal cords for the full power battle cry. It blasts a huge amount of ink itself and wrestles with the statue's own powerful ink blast. It all leads down to a classic turf war. Who will have the most power? Who will have more power over the other and come out on top? Pearl does. The Tartar falls in defeat and prepares to join the Professor. It explodes. They win. Pearl and Marina reunite and hug it out as Captain Cuttlefish celebrates, while Agent 8 watches as Agent 3 finally wakes up. The new Squidbeak Splatoon have once again won, increased their numbers, and saved everyone. They all relax as they watch the sun shine bright on a beautiful day. Presented by Pearl and Marina, a brand new Splatfest arose, creating the sides of Chaos First Order. Ultimately, Chaos won. Splatsville, a city of chaos located in Splatlands, began to develop rapidly due to this Splatfest, as more Inklings and Octarians moved to the Splatlands for its presumed chaos. The city is extremely crowded, with a multitude of apartments and shops surrounding the main hub, which within it has Shiver and Fry, as well as Big Man, from the hit band Deep Cut as their announcers for news and Splatfest. A new unknown Inkling arrives at Splatsville, hearing unsettling news. The great Zapfish is gone. The Inkling notices Captain Cuttlefish, who peeks at them from the soars. The Inkling follows the mysterious man into an underground dome. Captain Cuttlefish exclaims that the Octarians are coming as he introduces himself to the new Inkling, revealing himself to be technically retired, but also dubbing them the new Agent 3 of the new Squidbeak Splatoon. And much like other agents, he hands them the hero suit, which now contains a salmonoid named Small Fry, who joins Agent 3 on their mission to rescue all the mini Zapfish to find and then rescue the great Zapfish. Agent 3 rescues a mini Zapfish and before continuing on learns that they can use Small Fry as a bomb of some sort to eat all the fuzzy goo from the area. Captain Cuttlefish notices how the Octarians seemingly have fur of some sort. Agent 3 rescues 3 more mini Zapfish, throwing Small Fry to the fuzzy ooze to take it all away. Before either of them begin to head down the crater though, they hear and see something in the sky. It's a robot of some sort, jumping all the way down the crater and exclaiming that they
Found you, Captain Cuttlefish.
They say how their Octarian troops have gone missing, and DJ Octavio reveals himself, who thinks Captain Cuttlefish is behind it. Captain Cuttlefish yells, wanting the great Zapfish back from him. He asks Agent 3 to go and fight DJ Octavio, the leader of the Octarian army, and bring the great Zapfish back once more.
Quit spewing nonsense and listen up. I'm about to drop my latest hit.
He says he begins playing in the new and upgraded Octobot King L3Gs. Captain Cuttlefish guides Agent 3 to hit the fist back to his robotic machine in order to damage it. Agent 3 does that successfully with his left fist and then his right. DJ Octavio turns the Octobot King from its full robot form into a flying turntable much like the first Octobot King. It flies around and prepares to launch a drill punch, which Agent 3 dodges and eventually inks up to send back. DJ Octavio prepares to send his fist again, and Agent 3 once again sends back his left fist, which this time knocks DJ Octavio out of his machine and onto the ground floor. Agent 3 sprays him in ink, which sends him back to his machine.
Well, you think my beats suck, eh? Then you'll love this.
As the robot brings out some sort of vacuum to suck in all the ink previously on the area, DJ Octavio sends another drill, ink bombs, and more, once again leading DJ Octavio to send out his fist that Agent 3 would send right back again, sending DJ Octavio out of his machine to get hurt more and more, before being sent back to his own machine as it prepares to fight, now using its hands to try and smother Agent 3. When DJ Octavio goes back to his fist attacks, Agent 3 once again sends his fist of fury back to the machine once more, leading DJ Octavio to be sent back only to be defeated quickly.
Every time. So sad.
He whimpers as the machine malfunctions, flying to the sky only to come crashing down. They confront DJ Octavio, who claims the fight was
No fair. Your gear is way too strong.
but who also claims that he didn't steal the great Zapfish this time, which surprises Captain Cuttlefish. Who else would've? The ground begins to shake until fuzzy ooze comes out of it, causing the ground to collapse and bring them all down. Agent 3 reawakes in a new area they've never seen before named Alterna, as voices call them over. Agent 3 heads to the voices, revealing the Squid sisters, Marie and Callie, and the former Agent 3, who's now the new captain of the new Squid Beaks platoon. They tell Agent 3 that the Fool separated them from Cuttlefish, so they need to find him too. Captain Cuttlefish had trackers on him, but the same sort of signal seems to be coming from 3 different places. So Agent 3 continues their mission, eventually being discovered and aided by a robotic assistant named Orca, who helps guide them through Alterna. Agent 3 continues their mission in the first site, future Utopia Island, and while saving more mini Zapfish, they all hear someone call out, "Hold it right there." It turns out Deep Cut classifies this all as their turf, and that only they can loot the area. Shiver claims to Fry that they've hit the jackpot and nothing will stop them from taking the treasure. They both eventually end the conversation short and leave. Agent 3 then heads down the saws to reach the second site, Cozy and Safe Factory, eventually arriving at a boss kettle. Agent 3 enters without hesitation. Agent 3 wanders around, meeting Fry, who unleashes the Eel Deal Octo Stomp. The old Octo Stomp's remains have been found and repurposed by Fry as a nest for her moray eels. It now spins around with Fry on top of it. Fry sends out a bunch of eels to go and attack Agent 3, who after defeating all the eels, upsets the Octo Stomp's balance and allows Agent 3 to climb on top of it and hurt Fry. Fry respawns and releases a moral whirlpool to attack Agent 3, but Agent 3 is able to fight back and deflects its attacks, upsetting its balance once again for Agent 3 to climb it and hurt Fry. Fry respawns again and releases the Great Moray transformation, sending a whole lot of eels to win the battle against Agent 3. Agent 3 dodges and fights a tough battle, defeating all the eels, leading Fry to release the Eel Downpour. Agent 3 defeats all those eels too, so Fry decides to attack using the Octo Stomp itself. They spin and rush towards Agent 3, who deflects their attacks, and when Fry sends out more eels, deflects their attacks again, eventually upsetting the Octo Stomp's balance once more. Agent 3 hurts Fry once more, who respawns claiming that Agent 3 is way stronger than they first seemed, but that they haven't heard the last of Deep Cut. Fry and the eels leave, leading Agent 3 to find the thing that was sending the signal, the treasure of some sort. So they grab it and hear Captain Cuttlefish communicate to them, saying he's in a dark room but that he's gonna try and break out. Agent 3 heads down, using Small Fry to remove all the fuzzy ooze to expose another sword drain that leads to a new site. Agent 3 ventures down it, arriving at the third site, Cryogenic Hopetown. After freeing the site of its fuzzy ooze and gathering more of the lost mini Zapfish, Agent 3 can now swiftly travel to the fourth site, Landfill Dreamland, where Marie recognizes that there's a boss kettle here. Agent 3 saves more mini Zapfish before inevitably entering the boss kettle to retrieve another piece of the treasure. Shiver jumps down to stop Agent 3 in their tracks, and places a cave around them. Shiver calls for a shark with rockets to its side, ready to fight Agent 3. The shark leaps into the water and begins swimming around, splashing ink towards Agent 3 whenever possible. Agent 3 covers the majority of the shark until it sinks, which it then comes towards Agent 3 with its fins sticking out of the ground. It rushes to them but misses, then continues to swim around only to get entirely covered by the agent's ink. Shiver falls off the shark, leading Agent 3 to hurt her. She respawns and begins to try even harder, continuing to shoot ink blasts at Agent 3 and whirlpools to launch and jump around in the air to find a good angle to shoot at Agent 3. Agent 3 is able to cover the shark again, leading Shiver to get thrown off and covered in ink. She respawns angrier than ever, blasting more ink and creating more whirlpools. Agent 3 covers the shark in ink and is able to cover Shiver in ink once more. Shiver whimpers in defeat, that's enough of a lesson for today, and that Deep Cut will return, leaving the second piece of the treasure for the taking. Captain Cuttlefish communicates with them, while they all hear a strange voice as well. Agent 3 pushes forward though to the fifth site, the Eco Forestry Hills. After fighting intensely, freeing the site of the fuzzy ooze and saving more mini Zapfish, Agent 3 continues to push forward and travel to the sixth site, Happiness Research Lab, eventually fighting for and unlocking the boss kettle. Agent 3 jumps right into battle with Big Man awaiting. Big Man readies for battle, creating a giant blue shadow of himself that leaves a trail of ink as it moves. Agent 3 has to track it and cover it in ink while it attacks with bombs. Agent 3 covers it enough to the point that it knocks Big Man to the ground for Agent 3 to hurt. Big Man rises back up and prepares himself again, going into the ground again. Big Man doesn't change his strategy much, leading Agent 3 to easily cover him, send him back up from the ground and hurt him once more. Platforms rise as Big Man continues to fight to make it harder for Agent 3 to get to Big Man easily, but Agent 3 overcomes this challenge, sending him out the ground to cover him in ink once more. He comes back up but is too hurt, so he leaves Agent 3 to gather the third piece of the treasure. treasure. Captain Cuttlefish communicates with them that he's been held captive by someone named Mr. Grizz, who then threatens Captain Cuttlefish. Agent 3 reaches the space center, but there's way too much fuzzy ooze in front of the rocket, so they decide to create a machine with all the parts. The captain grabs the machine and jumps into the air and is able to clear all of the fuzzy ooze. The captain sprained a tentacle, so they cannot join them on their mission. Marie and Callie, however, prepare to join Agent 3 until Deep Cut interrupts. They continue to want the treasure, but now all the fuzzy ooze is gone. Marie and Callie claim they're done with it and Deep Cut could just take it. They think it's all just a trick, but eventually accept it. They want Marie to become the boss of Deep Cut, to which she agrees. Agent 3, Marie and Callie all reach the top of the rocket. They're onto it but see something on the ground. It's a dehydrated / decayed Captain Cuttlefish in squid form. He's gone. They realize this right before a giant shadow covers them whole. As Mr. Grizz appears in front of them, they demand that Captain Cuttlefish's turn to normal, but Mr. Grizz denies this as everything begins to shake. The rocket begins to lift as it rises into space. The captain holds Captain Cuttlefish and sheds a tear, which hits his dehydrated body. His body turns a hydrated color as he is now alive once more. They celebrate this quickly before remembering what's happening in the sky as Mr. Grizz is further in from the ground, although Deep Cut appears and Fry sends her eels out. Agent 3 arrives on the rocket as Mr. Grizz rises. The final battle with the fate of the world at hand commences. Agent 3 slides around gathering golden eggs while dodging Mr. Grizz's rockets. They keep pushing forward as Mr. Grizz blasts more ink waves at Agent 3, who dodges said attacks and is able to burst one of his oozy splotches, leaving Agent 3 to be able to throw small fry at it to pop it full. Mr. Grizz covers itself in ink and falls into the ground, only to rise further up the rocket. Agent 3 continues to traverse the rocket while dodging the attacks from Mr. Grizz, who is not giving up so easily. Agent 3 eventually gets the opportunity to burst another one of his oozy splashes for small fry to go and pop fully. It covers itself in ink to once again travel further back. Octarians rise from the ground to help Mr. Grizz, who shoots ink soundwave blast to finish Agent 3. Agent 3 dodges all the attacks, even Mr. Grizz's ground pound. Agent 3 is able to reach and burst another of its oozy splotches and throw small fry to finish it off. Mr. Grizz rages and sends Agent 3 into the air, sending them all into space with no hope of return. Although lucky for Agent 3, DJ Octavio arrives in his rocket, telling Mr. Grizz,
"You're not dropping this beat on our turf."
DJ Octavio uses his turntables and begins playing a beat. Agent 3 lifts the small fry into the air, who floats slowly as Captain Cuttlefish explains marine life energy is flowing from it, and small fry eventually transforms itself into huge fry. Mr. Grizz is still filled with fuzzy ooze, so Agent 3's mission is to remove all of it while huge fry fights. Agent 3 helps steer the Octobot King to use its vacuum to suck up the fuzzy ooze and succeed, while the two giants fight each other vigorously. They pop more ooze as the battle between giants continues. They pop another and the Octarians begin to invade the Octobot King, which Agent 3 helps fight off before heading back into the Octobot King to pop one last bit of ooze. Mr. Grizz whimpers as they move the Octobot King to the front of Mr. Grizz, preparing to fire the fuzz right back. So Agent 3 hops back in and prepares to fire all of it back out. They cover Mr. Grizz in ink as the rocket begins to malfunction and inevitably explodes. Big Fry turns back into Small Fry to accompany Agent 3 as they head back to Earth in DJ Octavio's Octobot King. Agent 3 returns to the other new Squidbeak Splatoon members, who congratulate them on their win. Back in Splatsville, however, Shiver, Fry, and Big Man confirm the Great Zapfish has returned. They also confirm the Squid Sisters have released a new single, and Deep Cut realizes that the Squid Sisters are truly their bosses now, that they should all go on tour one day and for Deep Cut to open for the Squid Sisters on said tour. Deep Cut wrap up their news broadcast and play the hit new single from the Squid Sisters, Wave Goodbye. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do subscribe, like, comment below, share with friends, whatever you can do to help support the channel. Have a good day / night wherever or whenever it is, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.